Hello, everybody. This is the Empress Speaks, and I'm back with another informative video. Many of you have already seen the Montgomery Riverboat Brawl. And as some of you know, my day ones know, I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. It's a home of the civil rights movement. So the irony and synchronicity of everything happening is very poignant and strikes home for me in more ways than one. Um, Also, before I get started on that and what I'm going to share with you, thank you to all of my subscribers, my returning subscribers, my new viewers. Your love, your support has been phenomenal. Thank you. For those of you who have booked personal readings with me, thank you also for supporting my gift, my spiritual gift. So for those of you who are interested in booking a personal readings, I've got availability for a few more this month. I will not do a whole lot of personals because of the energy that it takes to do them. But if you'd like to schedule, my calendar is updated daily with Calendly, and the link will be in the description box below. Right now, personals are only $25. You get a 30-minute, up to 30-minute personal with 2 questions. So if you'd like to book one, do so before the slots fill up. Also, we've got some other things that are on the horizon for the channel, which I'm very excited about. We've got merch. So if you're interested in purchasing merchandise, please go to the community tab. No, I'm sorry. There's shopping. Go to the shopping tab on the YouTube channel, and you will see the different items that are for sale. Some of the products that I use in my readings to clear the energy is the smudge spray, and it's by Soul Sticks. I purchased it from Amazon. There's a link in the community tab to this and the other calendars that I use. It's amazing for those who don't necessarily want to do the smoke from the sage. This is a great alternative. Okay, so back to the matter at hand. We've seen a lot of different perspectives on what happened with the Alabama Brawl or Montgomery Riverboat Brawl. I will tell you that as a little girl growing up in Montgomery, I often went downtown, and they still have the monument there today where the greatest, I think, and horrific human trafficking was performed, where human beings were sold or auctioned off in downtown Montgomery in the square, and just seeing that was such a harrowing experience as a young girl to know that that existed, combined with the fact that Montgomery is still very racist, very much a racist area. But, we've certainly made lots of strides over the years. And what I want to share with you today is the audio from News Talk Radio, a local radio station in Alabama, 93.1 FM. And this is the host of the show, the radio talk show. His name is Joe Clark. His name is, I'm sorry, Joey Clark. And you can find him on 93.1 FM. And we're doing this for research purposes under the Copyright Act, which is written below in the description box as well. But he has interviewed the Montgomery, Alabama Riverboat Captain. And so he's going to give his perspective on what happened leading up to the events, and that's something that we have not seen in the media or on social media. And I wanted to share that with you so you could get a first-hand account of what led up to this event. And we'll take some commentary, or I'll give some commentary as we go through this interview, as well as afterwards. Okay.
The region's most trusted voice, News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. We got Sky Mosley in the studio with me.
Rock and roll.
How you doing, Sky?
All right.
And on the phone, we have the captain of the Harriet II, Jim Cattrell. Hey, Jim, how are you this afternoon?
I'm fine, good, thank you.
Yeah, good to hear from you. I did not, for folks out there listening, we didn't plan this, so I really appreciate you calling in here. Can you describe from just your perspective what the heck happened this weekend?
Yeah, I can tell you pretty much. We were coming into the dock for our Saturday cruise. It was a 5 to 7 cruise. I had almost 200 people on the boat. And coming into the dock, and I could see that there was a pontoon boat that was too far back to allow me to position the boat to use a disembarkation ramp to get the people off the boat. So I got on the PA. I'm hovering in the water out there right beside the pontoon boat. I got on the PA and said, could y'all please move your boat up a couple feet, 4 feet, so I can get the boat in here, get these folks off the boat. And nothing happened. So I did that about 5 more times. And still, they're just looking at me. So finally I said, okay, now, I'm going to call the police to get your boat moved. And when they get down here, they're going to see the alcohol that you have on your boat. I said, I don't think you want that, so move your boat before I call the police. And they started shooting birds at us.
Oh, no.
So I called the police. And we waited there for a while. I called them at 6:59. And so we waited for a little bit, waiting for the police. There was a whole line of security guards up there at the park, just right above the dock. So we waited for a while, and then the guys left that were on that boat. They left the boat and just left the park, or they left the dock. So I assumed they were gone. So Stewart, who captains the pedal boat, was there, and I knew he could get his boat in and out of that area. So I called him on the phone and said, hey, Stewart, man, can you come over here and get a couple of my deckhands, drop them off on the dock, and let them move that boat for me so I can get...
So as you can already hear from the captain, he had asked, using the PA system, the occupants of the boat, the pontoon, to move their boat about 5 feet so that he can pull the riverboat up closer to the dock for disembarkation. They refused. The occupants refused to move. Furthermore, they were disrespectful. They shot birds, gave them the finger. And there also was alcohol involved. So they may have been already drunk, inebriated, and just, out of their minds or not capable of making good decisions anyhow. You're not supposed to have alcohol on those boats, on the riverboat, especially because it's very family oriented. So the police were called. It took them a while to get there. And not only did they not move the boat, they were disrespectful. They left the boat docking area. And all these people are on the riverboat, on the Harriet II, waiting to disembark.
Instead of breaking it up, they jumped on him too.
Oh, no.
So I called the police. And we waited there for a while. I called them at 6:59. And so we waited for a little bit, waiting for the police. There was a whole line of security guards up there at the park, just right above the dock. So we waited for a while, and then the guys left that were on that boat. They left the boat and just left the park, or they left the dock. So I assumed they were gone. So Stewart, who captains the pedal boat, was there, and I knew he could get his boat in and out of that area. So I called him on the phone and said, hey, Stewart, man, can you come over here and get a couple of my deckhands, drop them off on the dock, and let them move that boat for me so I can get my boat in? He said, sure. So he did. And then so my 2 deckhands went over there one of them was my senior deckhand, my first mate. He was the one that was attacked. But they went over there. They know how to move a boat. And in the boating world, boaters are generally, very friendly.
Right.
And in the boating world, it's common. If you have to move somebody's boat, it's not like it's nothing to get upset about. You have to move a boat sometimes. But particularly though, we're a passenger vessel. That boat weighs over 500,000 pounds.
Right.
You don't want to be in its way if you can help it. So anyway, they went over there, moved the boat, and after they moved it, those guys came running back. They must have still been in the park or up in the gazebo or something. And the one, at first there, I thought maybe they were going to have a little discussion, it's going to calm down. Now, see, we're 40 yards or 30 yards away from the dock watching all this. There's nothing we can do. And about that time, another guy comes running up, and then within a minute or so, it was all out brawl. And then I saw some more guys coming. I said, oh, thank God, they're going to break it up. But instead of breaking it up, they jumped on him too. So at one time, it was like six, 7 guys on my deckhand who was just trying to move the boat. So this went on for a minute. Some people came from the plaza and helped pull some guys off of him. He got away for a little bit there. Things started to calm down a little bit, and the police showed up. And I said, okay, it's going to be okay. And my deckhand came back over and motioned me to bring the boat into the dock. That everything was calm. And by this time, I said,
So this man is in his early 60s, the deckhand. After being jumped on by 6 to 8 people, is still on his job, is still communicating to the captain, hey, come on in and bring the boat over. And, just the sheer audacity is overwhelming for me, that you thought you could just beat this man like this, a member of your senior community who was just doing his job.
already a half dozen police officers on the dock. This is about 15 minutes later. And so we started bringing the boat in. And as soon as the boat hits the dock, some of my crew who saw my first mate, Damien, being attacked, felt they had to retaliate, which was unfortunate. I wish we could have stopped that from happening. But when you see something like that,
right,
and it was difficult. It was difficult for me to sit there in the wheelhouse watching him being attacked. And the whole time I'm on the PA, stop, the police are here, stop. But they wouldn't even stop them. So once we get to the dock, and then that's when a little bit of a melee started, and finally the police got control of it. I'm just so thankful nobody had a weapon.
Likewise. And I'd imagine, I appreciate you telling us all that. I'd imagine from just seeing what I saw on the tape that the guys that all y'all who work together, y'all seem pretty tight. Like, this isn't just a day job. Like, these are folks that it's a kind of a work family, right?
Well, they're shipmates. Shipmates is,
right,
different than most jobs where people work together and go home. Some of these crews, like we just got back from bringing the boat back from Mobile. We were on there for 7 days. Spending the night, watching movies, doing the work, getting the boat up, being a team, and cleaning the boat too, coming up the river.
Well,
so shipmates are like a team, and
they were very much like a family. So they saw their family team member in distress. And so can you imagine the emotions running through any of them? And as Captain Cattrell will articulate later in this interview, this wasn't a black or white thing. This was a family thing. This was just people being concerned. But as an African-American woman, as a woman of color that identifies with being a colored woman and from Montgomery, Alabama, this was, all I could think about was Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, and all of the countless others who died while people had a camera recording the atrocity of the last breath being beaten or taken away from them as they took their last breath. People, it was an emotional thing to witness, and the thought and trauma of another life being taken right before our very eyes was just too much to bear. So there was a call to action. People did something. And for those who knew this man, worked with him, he was maybe like a grandfather figure to them. You know, he wasn't, this man isn't a fighter. You know, you can look at him and tell that he might have some health issues. He's a heavier set man, might have some bad knees, you know, because ones with bad knees, we can tell who got bad knees. But he was just an average Joe making a living.
I'll make one point I do want to make is it's wasn't a black and white thing. I had every single white crew member male on the boat was on the dock. I mean, it wasn't like this was our crew upset about these idiots, basically. And this group, this is the same group that comes every year. They're from Selma, and we've had trouble with them in the past, but just like jokey things. Like a couple of years ago, the same group was here. We came back from a cruise, and our golf cart was missing. We use a golf cart to get seniors and handicapped back up to the parking lot. And so when it was missing, we finally found it in the Hampton Inn lobby. And we looked at the Hampton Inn video, found out who did it, and we had them come down, and we were going to press charges in, but the police, talked us out of it, saying it's
So as Captain Cattrell articulates, they've had little issues, menacing issues with this group before. They come every year, a couple times a year, and they do a lot of menacing acts. So they're problematic to begin with. So anyway, I wanted to share this with you because there's a lot of different perspectives and a lot of people giving their commentary on what happened, what went down, not quite understanding the gravitas of growing up in Alabama, knowing culturally what people have experienced. I think we all can empathize with the African Americans who have gone through so many atrocities and seen so much trauma with loved ones and or people of color being gunned down, lives taken away from them senselessly. And please don't put in the comments, blacks kill each other. People kill where they live. Everybody unalives each other where they live, and none does it disparately more than the other. It is what it is, okay? And this is not about that. This is just about this situation. And anyway, I wanted to share this perspective from the captain because we've heard from so many different people, seen so many different camera angles, but I wanted you to know what this captain of this boat was thinking and what was going through his heart and mind. And he seems to be a very strong leader that wants to bring people together. For him, this was not about race. This was just about family, protecting family. So if you have comments, I'd love to hear your thoughts because this is one of those times where we share things that can affect us spiritually or emotionally. As always, please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Please book your personal reading if you desire to do so. And as always, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.